Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to start chapter number 5, which is about temperature measurement. During this chapter we are going to see the classical device which is used to measure the temperature, which is the thermometer, and after that we are going to see more sophisticated devices that are used to measure the temperature. So we start by a historical background. Liquid in glass bulb originated Galileo 1565 to 1642. Major improvement took place in 1630 after the invention of capillary tubes. So capillary tubes are invented in 1630. Temperature scale was proposed by Isaac Newton in 1642 to 1727. The freezing point of water and temperature of the healthy man was used as extreme point on the scale from 0 to 12. This is the old scale used for the thermometer. New scale was introduced by Gabriel Fahrenheit in 1715, dividing the scale between the freezing point and boiling point of water into 180 division. Fahrenheit also improved the earlier attempt by Ismail Bouliou in 1659 to use mercury as a liquid in the bulb thermometer. In 1742, Swedish astronomer Andreas Celsius proposed a new scale dividing the range between water freezing and boiling point into 100 equal divisions, where 0 corresponds to boiling point and 100 to freezing point. Carolus Linnaeus 1707 to 1778 reversed the order of Celsius scale shortly after his death. This scale was formally adopted in 1948. So the thermometer, we can find the thermometer in Fahrenheit with the 180 division, and we can find the thermometer with the degree Celsius divided on 100 division. The boiling point is used to the maximum temperature, which is 100, and the freezing point is used to as 0 degree Celsius. Temperature definition. Temperature can be loosely described as the property of an object that describes its hotness or coldness. So the temperature is a property of any object that express the hotness. That means the object is hot, or the coldness, the object is cold. Temperature is based on the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Two systems that are at thermal equilibrium, no heat transfer between systems, are at the same temperature. So this is the zeroth law of temperature. If we have two bodies close together, so if there is no heat transfer, means that they have the same temperature. Temperature scale provides definition of the size of degree, reference point for establishing known temperature. This is very important drawing. Okay, so we said that the temperature scale provides definition of the size of degree. So this is what we are going to see later. Reference point for establishing known temperature. So we are going to use the boiling point and freezing point to find the graduation of the thermometer. Means means of interpolating between known temperature point. Fixed temperature point. Celsius and Fahrenheit scale use arbitrary fixed point for their temperature scale. Triple point, phase transition point of water, degree C, was used in Celsius scale, which correspond to 32 in Fahrenheit. So 0 degrees Celsius, which is 0 degrees Celsius, is used as 32 degree Fahrenheit scale for the second type of thermometer. Workable scale for the measurement of temperature between the freezing point. So the freezing point is considered as the set point of water, and the boiling point is another set point that are used to make the graduation in the thermometer. So the boiling point is 100 degree Celsius. Therefore, boiling point of water at 1 atmosphere is 100 degrees Celsius, which is 212 degree Fahrenheit in Fahrenheit scale. Fahrenheit scale. Okay, interpolation of temperature scale. How can we interpolate between the known temperature point of 0 degree C and 100 degree Fahrenheit? It is as simple as dividing the distance traveled by the mercury in tube into 1 equal units. So here we put, if we would like to make the graduation of the thermometer, we put the thermometer in ice. We call it ice bath. That means it's a mixture of ice and water. This is 0 degrees Celsius. So when the mercury expands inside the capillary, so we get here 0 degrees C. So mark 0 degrees C when we put the thermometer in ice bath, and after that we put the thermometer in boiling bath or boiling water. So boiling water, we reach 100 degrees C. So we mark 100 degrees C. After that, the distance from 100 degrees C to 0, we divided at 100 graduation equal intervals, which is the graduation thermometer. So here we have the 100 degrees C, which is the boiling point. Of course, at 1 atmosphere, because when we change the pressure, the boiling point will change. And here fixed point, freezing point, at 1 atmosphere or so we have 0 degree. After that we divide the distance from 100, distance from 100 to 0 degrees C to 100 graduation, and we get at the end the thermometer with the Celsius scale. Temperature measurement, liquid in glass thermometer. Liquid in glass thermometer is based on the thermal expansion of liquid. Of course, you know that based on the temperature here, we can get expansion of the liquid inside the tube, and we can read the temperature. So during calibration, so this is a very important thing, the calibration. During the calibration, this type of thermometer is subject to three types of measuring environment. So we have, for accurate measurement, the thermometer should be immersed in the same manner as during calibration. Otherwise, stem correction need to be applied. This is, for example, if we would like to calibrate the thermometer, if we immerse this level is not the same as the immerse this level, and it's not the same as we completely immerse the thermometer. So every one, there is 3 types here, and of course if we immerse for calibration in this level, so we have to use this thermometer and we immerse to measure the temperature. We immerse at this level. If we immerse at this level, so we have to it needs correction, and it can be used for this level. This type of devices can provide the accuracy up to plus minus 0.01 degrees C. So this is the precision of the thermometer under very controlled condition. However, in practice they can have total uncertainty range between plus minus 2 degrees C to plus minus it's between plus minus 0.2 degrees C and plus minus 2 degrees C depending on the instrument. So this is the uncertainties or the error that can be made by a thermometer, and it can reach accuracy of 0.01 plus minus 0.0. Okay, temperature measurement biometric thermometers. So based on differential thermal expansion of two metals. So this is another device to measure the temperature. We have two metals. We use metal A and metal B. They are attached together. Of course, the metal A has a thermal expansion, and metal B has another thermal expansion. So when we put it together to measure the temperature, so the thermal expansion or the extension of the metal A is different from metal B. So we get this form, which when we measure RC, which is the radius of this shape, we can get the temperature. So this is two metal attached together with different metals, so we have different thermal expansion. So when we try to measure the temperature, one is more extended than the second. That's why we have this shape. And after that, we can measure the radius RC, and RC will be proportional to D, which is the thickness of the thermometer here, divided by C alpha A, which is the material thermal expansion coefficient of metal A, minus the material thermal expansion coefficient of the metal B, multiplied by T2 minus T1. So this one is given, is known, this one is given, this one is given. When we measure RC, we get the value of RC, so we can get the difference of temperature T2 minus T1. So T temperature and D thickness. Okay, so this is very easy. We have to measure the radius of the system of the thermometer here. So we get RC. These two values are known because we know the metal A and metal B. The thickness here we can measure it. It's easy to measure. So we get all the parameter. We have only T2 minus T1, which is remaining. So from T2 to T1, T2 minus T1, we can get the temperature T2. We can assume that T1 is a reference temperature and T2 is the temperature that we would like to measure. This is another way, another device to measure the temperature. Is based also on the thermal expansion of the metal. So we have a spiral here, and when we measure the temperature, we have to measure only the expansion here. So this expansion is from this expansion we can get the temperature measured. There is another one here, which is a helix, and when we measure the temperature, the helix will rotate, so we can measure this angle. This angle we get from this angle, we can get the temperature. So this is three different types of thermometer that we can use to measure the temperature. Of course, its application we can use specified one. Temperature measurements, electrical resistant thermometer. So this is the electrical properties of the material. We know that the electrical resistance of a conductor or semiconductor varies with temperature. So the temperature has an effect on the variation of the resistance in the conductor. So we are going to use this specification or this characteristic to find the temperature. Conductive RTD is a resistance temperature detector. This is another, it's a device to measure the temperature. And semiconductor thermistor, this is another type of device to measure the temperature. So thermistor is based on semiconductor, and RTD is based on the conductor or the resistant temperature of the conductor. Okay, RTD. So RTD may be formed from a solid metal wire which exhibit an increase in electrical resistance with temperature. So we use a conductor to measure the temperature, and the resistance in the conductor is described by this equation, is rho E L divided by AC. This is the resistance. R is the electrical resistivity, L is the length of the conductor. AC cross-sectional area of conductor. This is the cross-sectional area of the conductor. And rho C temperature depends on the resistivity of the material. So this is reflect the effect of temperature on the resistance. So we can use a conductor to measure the temperature. We know the length, we know the cross-sectional area, we know the temperature dependence of the resistivity. So when we measure the variation of the temperature, we can get an idea about the temperature. Platinum RTD. So this is the diagram of the RTD. The RTD is composed by evacuated space to get a specified condition of because if we don't have the evacuated space, maybe the surrounding temperature will affect the resistance of the conductor. So here it's the L is the length of the helical conductor, so sensitive electrical coil here, and here a mica cross form just to support the conductor here in the RTD. So RTD is a metal wire is mounted on an insulating support structure to eliminate mechanical strain. So this is the support is to prevent mechanical strain, because we know that if there is a strain in the helical conductor, so in this case we can get a variation of the resistance. So we put insulating support structure to eliminate mechanical strain, which will affect the conductor electrical resistance. Construction must allow strain-free, so we have to make construction with strain-free differential expansion of components caused by changing temperature. The wire is encased to prevent influence from the environment, corrosion, or external temperature, and so on. So this is why we put the helical coil in a mica cross form, just to eliminate the strain, because the strain has effect on the resistance of the metal. And we put we put all the structure in the evacuated space, just to eliminate the external effect of the environment or the surrounding of the RTD. So example of RTD, we have this is the image of RTD. It's just a wire, and inside we have the coil wire, and as we see before in the structure of the RTD. This is another type of RTD. It's inside there is a wire, a coil conductor, and this is just to other RTD with just to see the size of the RTD compared to the coil. So we can get a very small RTD here, and we can get a more long RTD here. So this is the image of RTD. Temperature resistance relations for RTD. So electrical resistance of a metal conductor which changing temperature can be represented with the polynomial. So this is the equation of resistance based on the different temperature and parameters of the RTD. This is for RTD, so the resistance R0. R0 is the reference resistance multiplied by 1 plus alpha T minus T0 plus beta T minus T1 and so on, squared and so on. R0 is the reference resistance measured at T0, so R0 is the temperature for T0. They are related together. alpha, beta, etc. are material constants.